Good evening and welcome to another episode of The Past 20 Years. I'm your host, Roy Sandy, but don't worry, there's adult entertainment on channels 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, and even our very own channel 10 right after this. This evening we'll be highlighting events from the past 20 years in the hope that it will one day reach a classroom of 2006. Either that or evolve into Pikachu. I know what my money's on. Tonight, just as promised, we'll be exploring the womb of the booming new industry of male pregnancy, which started in the year 2009. How do they do it? Why do they do it? And how you can get in on the action. Also tonight, step aside Jesus, Yoda's on the loose, as the first Jedi Council temple was built in February of 2018. But first, all the youth are doing it. Hell, even I did it at their age. That's right, I'm talking about cybersex. With the craze sweeping the nation, it was appropriate for schools to start teaching safety precautions in 2011. Awareness to the risk of the consequences of unprotected cybersex was encouraged to all students, but it wasn't without objection from the Christians. David Hardon made this report in 2011.
The world is a dark, sinful place, at least according to Mary Jones, founders of Christians for Pure Love. Her statement comes after the news that safe cybersex would be taught in all public schools starting this year.
It's disgusting that they even think youth would participate in such satanic acts, let alone actively encourage them. It sickens me to think that we're perverting the minds of our children in this fashion, that we're teaching that it's okay and even normal to demonstrate your love to another in the only way you know how. High-definition webcams.
We then went straight to the source. Melbourne High School's Administration of Sexual Health, Peter McLean Sandy.
We believe we're equipping our children with the necessary life skills, both mentally, emotionally, and hardcore sexually. In no way do we actively encourage or condone this sort of behaviour, but let's face it, kids these days are dirty little skanks with only one thing on their mind: enter scores. Oh, and maybe sex. If they're going to do it, they may as well do it the right way, the safe way, the high definition way. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a meeting.
Someone then asked us, "Are you thinking of the children?" To which we responded, "Of course," and quickly filmed this next part. I think it's fantastic that the school has given us these brand new Logitech X69 high definition webcams with 600 frames per second at super high resolutions for those silky smooth cybersex positions that the modern ladies demand of a cybersex stud like myself. It's awesome that I got it for free, but had I not, I would have called 1-800-CYBER, that's 1-800-CYBER, to order it for the great price of $79.95. Buy it!
At first, I thought it was weird. I mean, it was a new experience for me. But, thanks to my school, I decided I would give it a go. So I did. Again, and again, and again! In fact, I'm even doing it right now.
To be completely honest, I'm against the idea. I'm absolutely horrified that teachers would encourage any form of cybersex. Sex is a necessary evil to reproduce. It's not for enjoyment or fun. It should be for two God-loving people married and pledged to create more parishioners the only way they know how. I'll personally be protesting against it being taught in schools.
It's clear today that there are two diametrically opposed sides to this argument. But like everything in life, only one is right. It's not for us to say, so here are some helpful strangers to say it for us.
What do I think of the new initiatives? Personally, I think they're really
fantastic. I think that our children these days aren't getting nearly enough
sex! At least now!
They have the opportunity to creatively express themselves.
With the rhythmic gyrations of it.
On high-definition webcams.
I like cheese!
Indeed, we all like cheese. Now, in similarly depressing news, children's television shows reached an all-time low during the Great Depression of of December in 2007. Profanity, violence, and not nearly enough nudity now flood the screens. Take, for example, this episode of a popular children's program broadcast earlier this morning. Disgusting. I doubt I can even eat as much as I want to throw up right now. Now, in more positive, yet less sexual news, we dug up some footage from the year 2018, when the first Jedi Temple of the Force was being built. Bill Collin is on the scene. And now for something completely different and totally non-sex related. It has long since been the fantasy of men and women alike for men to be able to experience the blessing and curse of being able to bear children. Thanks to the revolutionary work done during the past 12 years, it is now a reality, and we cross live to Hugh James for an in-depth expose into the sordid world of male pregnancy.
Male pregnancy, a gift or the end of the world as we know it? It was only 5 years ago when the researchers at the Women's Institute for Male Pregnancy, or WIMP as it's affectionately known, finally devised a fail-safe method of impregnating men. For too long we have had it easy as a gender, they told us. Honestly, most of us were just looking forward to that day just to keep them quiet. How the world has changed since then. Many predicted Armageddon when the feminazis would finally enact change, but thankfully this was not the case. More men than ever before having kids of their very own and loving it. But don't take our word for it. Listen to these testimonials.
Well, you know, I think that's fantastic. I mean, it's fantastic. For too long has my womb been going to waste, with nothing to do but complain to my other organs. At one point, I was considering renting it to the people down the road, those teenagers that live in Seaford. But just so it would have something to do, but that's just silly. I mean, now my wife and I are thrilled that I'm carrying our healthy bundle of wet, white, fleshy meat thing that we call a baby.
Personally, I'm thrilled that I can do the boxing, jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, horse riding, and all those other masculine activities that I've always wanted to do, but couldn't, because I was always carrying one of our children. While the new technology has brought satisfaction, equality, and traces of fear into the straight community, it has also benefited the gay, lesbian, and transgender community, though mostly the gay. One family in particular was especially excited to be part of this womb-shattering technology. Now, 12 years on, they are raising a healthy young boy.
I think it's fab. Me and my partner, we've always wanted to have children, and we were tired of running from the cops, so we gave up kidnapping. But then 12 years ago, we were presented with this new male pregnancy technology. It changed both of our lives, and the lives of the good lesbians down the street. It was such a hot offer that we packed our bags immediately.
I think we also packed a lot of fudge that night too, right, honey?
Oh, yeah. Although there was a lot of controversy surrounding it. No one believed men should be popping out babies through their penises. At first, this was mostly due to the fact that if you do deliver a baby through your penis, the penis will first rupture and it'll hemorrhage or bleed internally. This causes it to swell profusely and ultimately explode. That's why we have cesareans.
Please excuse him for getting a bit carried away. I bet it's not unusual, is it? I think it's great that we can raise children in an environment as God intended, entirely politically correct, and an entirely equal society.
It's wonderful to see how this new technology has changed our world for the better. Such changes would be ideal for, say, study of the future in an English class. Equality of genders, sexual preference, and race is at an all-time high. God must be proud. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. And as promised, here's that hardcore sex I know you've been dying for. Stay classy, San Diego.